the phone would not be charged as everyone was using the phone. Sometimes the internet recharge was not done. Sometimes my sister's class was at the same time as mine. Sometimes I had to do some household work. There were many interruptions from family members. I would be asked to do this and that, to go out and buy something. But I could see video recordings of classes later during my free time.
In April 2020, the Government of India closed schools as the COVID-19 pandemic started spreading in the country. For the first time, public school education shifted to remote platforms. How did this impact students in government schools, studying at secondary level? Did the shift to remote learning have more impact on girls as they are more dependent on publicly funded education? What challenges did they face and how did they cope? Between May to July 2021, we surveyed 30 girls and 30 boys studying in secondary classes 9 to 12 in Delhi government schools. Some of these students attended online classes in the academic year 2020 to 2021, while others did not. 80% of our respondents used a smartphone to access classes, but the phone wasn't always available to them. Girls were slightly more likely not to have access to the device as per their needs. So, we asked them the reasons. Having a quiet place at home to study was also a challenge. Most of the learning materials available online, whether through schools or otherwise, were in English and not the vernacular language. This was a challenge for some students. Many students simply did not or could not attend online classes. Many of those who attended classes felt they did not learn adequately, especially girls. The mental health of students was also affected. All girls said that their time on domestic chores increased compared to the period when schools were open. Many students also worked or looked for work during this period. Most respondents did not enjoy online learning and said that they missed their schools, especially girls. Most respondents felt the need for greater support from the government to help them during this time. The research concludes, students largely did not enjoy online learning, felt they could not learn adequately, and wanted to go back to school. Girls were impacted differently and seemed to have had a more negative experience of online learning. Access was a major challenge owing to lack of basic digital infrastructure. The main reasons were socio-economic conditions of students' households. There were not adequate measures from the government to address this. Our recommendations to policymakers: better provisioning for digital access and literacy by the government if a hybrid or online model continues. Inclusive learning materials in multiple languages. Priority for social and community engagement for girls along with classroom instruction. Targeted training for teachers, including components on emotional support for students.